All right, let's get right into it. I want to talk about something today that might sound a little, well, a little crazy in our hyper-connected world. What if I told you that one of the best things you could do is to seriously consider stopping, or at the very least, pausing, posting your life online? I absolutely love this quote because it just nails it, doesn't it? Privacy is the new punk rock. Think about that. In a world where everybody is shouting to be heard, broadcasting every single moment, the truly rebellious act is choosing not to. It suggests that the real power, the real edge, isn't about being the loudest person in the room. It's about having the confidence to be quiet. So let's talk about how we even got here. We are swimming in a culture of oversharing. It's become the default setting for life, right? Your breakfast, your vacation, your random thoughts on a movie. It all feels like it's just content waiting to be uploaded. I mean, it's true. It's like we've all become performers in the reality show of our own lives, constantly curating this perfect version of ourselves for an audience. And the craziest part? It's so normal now, we barely even notice we're doing it. It's just what you do. But that brings up a really crucial question. This constant performance, this endless loop of posting and then scrolling to see how the post did, what's the real cost? What's the hidden psychological price we're all paying for living our lives so publicly? Well, one of the biggest costs, and you might not even realize it's happening, is a constant withdrawal from our own self-esteem. Every single time you hit post, you are potentially putting your own self-worth on the line, up for public judgment. And this really boils down to a huge distinction. On one side, you have external validation. That's the rush you get from the likes, the comments, the shares. It feels good for sure, but it's temporary, and it's completely dependent on other people. But on the other side, you have self-contained self-esteem. And that's the good stuff. That's a sense of worth that comes from inside you. It's stable, it's resilient, and it doesn't need an audience to survive. Here's a great way to think about it. Picture your self-esteem as a bank account. When it's self-contained, that account is full, it's secure. But every single time you post something looking for that hit of external validation, it's like making a withdrawal. You're spending your internal sense of worth, hoping you'll get a tiny deposit of approval from the outside. You do that over and over, and eventually that account can run dangerously low. So if oversharing is draining our accounts, what's the alternative? Well, this is where we get to the really powerful idea, the privacy rebellion. Now, this is not about hiding or becoming a hermit, not at all. It's about making a conscious, powerful choice to reclaim your energy and your sense of self. And you can just feel the difference here, can't you? While the whole crowd is busy performing for each other, this one person is just being. They're not broadcasting, they're not asking for approval. By choosing that quiet and that privacy, they are building that inner strength, that self-contained self-esteem we were just talking about. Okay, so stepping back is clearly good for your own self-esteem, but it also has this absolutely fascinating effect on how other people see you. And this brings us to what I like to call the power of mystery. And believe it or not, there is some real science behind this. It's a psychological principle called the Zeigarnik effect. And basically what it says is that our brains are literally hardwired to obsess over things that are incomplete. You know, that cliffhanger at the end of a TV show, or a song that cuts off right before the end? You can't stop thinking about it. That's the Zeigarnik effect in action. This is exactly how it works in social situations. When you don't share every single detail of your life, you become an uncompleted task in other people's minds. You create a natural sense of mystery. People become more curious about you, more engaged, because their brains are unconsciously trying to fill in the gaps. Your silence makes you way more interesting than all their noise. So, how do you actually put this into practice? Well, it's kind of a simple three-step process. First, just make a conscious choice to withhold some personal details. You don't have to share everything. Second, learn how to create what are called open loops in a conversation. You know, hint at an interesting story without telling the whole thing right away. And third, just let it work. You will naturally generate curiosity without having to perform or try too hard. And all of this leads us to our final and honestly our most important idea. This isn't just about being mysterious or boosting your self-esteem. It's about something much bigger. It's about reclaiming your personal sovereignty. At the end of the day, it's this simple. Privacy equals sovereignty. The ultimate form of control in our digital age is the ability to control your own narrative, choosing what you share and, maybe more importantly, what you don't share. That is the ultimate expression of personal power.
It really is all about hitting the pause button. Instead of just reactively sharing because you feel this social pressure to do it, you consciously choose. You decide what parts of your life are just for you and what parts, if any, are for an audience. You are in command. You're in the driver's seat.
So we'll end on this question. In a world that is constantly, desperately shouting for attention, what could your deliberate, confident silence say about you? It might just say more than any post ever could.